Welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. My goodness, is it Thursday already? It is Thursday. By the way, it's the home opener for the Ottawa Red Blacks tonight. So if you're looking, there's still some tickets available. Looks like a beautiful night for football. Should be a lot of fun down there at TD Place. Well, we're going to start off with a wonderful personal story and an incredible success story that started right here in Ottawa. Just talking to my first guest, 400 stores across Canada selling her product. And again, just so many success stories out of this city. I'm joined by Amina Badar. She is the founder of Nia Pure Nature. Welcome, Amina. Great to have you here.
Hello, Derek. Nice to have you.
It's nice to meet you, too. Tell me about, there's a very personal story behind this, and unfortunately there's some tragedy behind this story because you lost 3 members of your family to cancer. Which I guess was the inspiration behind this for the most part, right? Tell me about that.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm a chemist and studied medicinal chemistry and work for Health Canada as a scientific evaluator and regulating, well, I work for the Food Directorate, so regulating chemical added to food, contaminants. My section dealt with food packaging, a lot of stuff. So while I was working, to me, I was always passionate helping people. So working for Health Canada and making a difference in our life and regulating what's added to our food was actually it was not just a job, it was actually a passion.
Right.
And I worked more time than others, and people say slow down. And then I did not see the correlation from what we eat to our, the impact that can have, in fact, to our health. Until I lost, first was my dad with leukemia. I lost my sister's husband. Actually, she lost her husband. And within a week, he was gone because he was diagnosed. And then I lost a brother-in-law, and actually someone else that I did not mention in my book and things like that is like my mom actually passed away about a year and a half ago.
I'm so sorry
of cancer as well.
Okay.
So that was an awakening and something that that was my turning point to focus more on nutrition and pure food.
So, and then you came up with this concept. So, you learned so much and all that. And one of the things you found out about was something called the moringa plant. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Yeah. Tell me about that, because that's come up in a couple of conversations I've had with, registered dietitians and nutritionists. What is the moringa plant?
Moringa is this plant that actually gaining momentum. When I introduced to my family, that was about approximately 15 years. It was not known at all. I heard from someone that came from East Africa, actually my brother, and was like, there's a miracle plant and it's called moringa. And we researched, we couldn't find it anywhere. So we ordered online and then came from the States, and we were using it for a couple of years. And we see a great impact on our health and our diet and energy because I have 4 children. And then it was nowhere to be found. I could not find it anywhere in Canada. So we decided, okay, why don't we actually offer? But the weirdest thing, when I talked to people about moringa, they did not know. So I researched so much that actually I wrote a book about moringa.
Nice.
Researching the scientific fact behind moringa. Because people normally sometimes is known as a miracle plant.
Right.
And then, but there were so many scientific researches done on this amazing plant. And then when I researched, it was so amazing, like more. Actually, this is just my first volume. I'm writing the second volume.
Okay.
So it's a plant that is actually now gaining momentum. So many different companies that brought this plant. But the way we process is so different because freeze drying makes a difference. It's like
really,
yeah, fresh, but in a can. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then you've created these products. Is moringa the main ingredient? Because I know you've mixed a number of different ingredients as well, right?
Yes, indeed. First, we started with moringa, and then people get to know we had to actually go in every trade show and try to educate people. And it's a plant that does not taste good. It's a green. It doesn't have, it has a taste, green taste.
It's not ice cream.
Yeah, it's not ice cream.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yes, indeed. So, yes, we came with the moringa first, and then moringa normally when freeze-dried or dried loses the vitamin C, although it has a lot of antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, so many nutrients, vitamin Bs and all sorts of vitamins. We came out with the capsules to make it convenient for people like, normal people who hate green.
Right.
And the majority of people. And then we actually did the Moringa Super C where we added other ingredients, and that's major. But the rest of the products that we have do not contain moringa, some of them, but not all of them. And we came with more and more. Actually, we add
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the benefits. Let's look at some of these other products. So I'll give this as an example. Tell me about this product and the benefits of it.
Turmeric, normally it's anti-inflammatory, has been recognized scientifically, even actually by the medical system. That is a great anti-inflammatory, it's great for digestion. It's actually, arthritis, it's really one of the most potent anti-inflammatory natural product that exists that we know of. So when I brought it in, because the way it was used, some people can just buy a cheap turmeric from the market.
Right.
But then turmeric needs fatty acids, like the fat. And we added coconut milk, like coconut cream, dehydrated. And then we added also black pepper that makes it more potent, and because it amplifies the anti-inflammatory property of the turmeric.
So on its own,
yeah.
it's not
yeah.
as good as it can be, right?
No. So based on the research that I've done, I've mixed it up in a way that makes it easy, not only delicious, but at the same time something that is way more potent,
right.
And is organic, of course.
You and I, when we were talking before the show, you were saying, the great thing about these products is, you can just put it in a glass of water if you want, right, and mix it up. But you can also use it in other ways. Explain that, because you brought these along, right? This is an example right here of something you can do.
Exactly. It's because, for example, beetroot. I always seen that when as a chemist, I've seen that certain colorant that are added everywhere, cereal that children consume. Red dye has some red dye that is allowed in the Canadian market and US that are not acceptable in most European countries, are actually very bad for the children. So I introduced beetroot. It's not just for the color. It tastes good. It's good for the health. It has iron. It's a natural. It's something that can be used. For example, here we offer a lot of recipes, and I here have energy balls that children love, and they do not even notice that there is a beetroot. So that's what we like to help people use the natural products, but just adding a little bit makes a lot of difference.
Were you surprised in your experience working for Health Canada at how many things that we've allowed into our food industry here in Canada?
Exactly.
I just see your eyes close. Yeah. You're like, yes, Derek.
Oh gosh, yeah. Because some of my colleagues will look at it as a job, but me, I was really not happy to see all the additives. But especially if you start with already the soil, the pesticides, and then the processing, and all the way along how all the products that are used in the food processing establishments, so many contaminants that is not normally part of food, but also the additives.
Right.
So we have more and more chemical additives, but at the same time, sometimes most companies reinforce the nutrition part of the food by adding synthetic vitamins, which I do not recognize as natural. Yeah.
Just running out of time here, Amina. Tell everybody where they can pick up your products.
The products are sold in every single natural health food stores in Ottawa and across Canada. If they cannot find otherwise, on our website, niapurenature.com. And I do want to add that we have also skincare, but we work the whole body.
We didn't have time to get to that, but we'll have you back on sometime to talk about that. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.